name's Helen. I have a husband called John, and together we have two children called Kira and Jack. They're both adults. They're both in their 20s. Both of them are adopted. Kira was my firstborn, I suppose you'd say. She's now 27. She came to live with us as a 9-week-old baby boy a couple of days before Christmas. Jack was 3 3/4 when he came to live with us, and he's now 23. Kira lives on a boat. She has always been just the most glorious light in my life. When she first arrived, she was my baby, the baby that I didn't know I would ever be able to have. There are so many things about her that I've been proud of. She's funny, she's bright, she's constantly curious about the world, she is very insightful, and I just love her. I just love her. Always have, always will. Jack is almost the total opposite to Kira, where Kira's all headwork, thinking and reading and finding out about things. Jack is do it, active. Jack is, again, an unbelievably special person. He's loving, generous, open-hearted. Okay, so let's do them one at a time because they are so different. Kira lived as a boy throughout his childhood and into his adulthood. And then at one point he was having quite a lot of problems. He seemed to be very lacking in energy. Excuse me, the cat's come to join us, so I hope she's not too much of an intrusion. Yeah, she was having various difficulties. She was very anemic. She was quite depressed, really. And she made a request for a referral to her GP. Now, she didn't talk to me about what that referral was, but I knew it really mattered because she was quite agitated by how long it seemed to take for the referral to come to fruition. I also, over a period of time, recognised that Kira was changing aspects of the way she presented herself to the world. She started to wear nail varnish, for instance, and makeup, and her clothes were changing. But anyway, eventually the referral went through. I took Kira to her appointment, although I still didn't know what it was about and what the place was that she was visiting. I'm an intelligent woman, but you know, even us intelligent women can be a bit blind at times. Because in fact the appointment was with the Gender Dysphoria Clinic here in Nottingham. And when Kira came out from the appointment, she came out. And she told me what the clinic was, and she told me what she was doing. I was just overwhelmed with pride at the courage and the conviction and the absolute certainty for her in what she was doing. In fact, I was so proud that having dropped her off at a friend's house, I came home and I posted immediately on Facebook. I can't remember what I said, but I wrote something around how proud I was of my daughter, Kira, and kind of left it to other people to work out what that meant, which Most of them did, pretty quickly. I think the thing for me about Kira coming out and openly living as a woman to both friends and family and strangers has been recognizing how much more at peace with herself and confident she is. She viewed the world differently from the way that people expected her to. And that made her very unconfident, but it also made her feel that she didn't have a legitimate voice. The only way that she could express her different opinions and takes on things was by doing it aggressively and angrily, which she did. She did. She was angry a lot of the time. And I feel so sad now, looking back and thinking how terribly hard it must have been for her to not feel right, but not know exactly what that meant. And now she's not angry. As a mother, it's such a joy to see her at peace with herself more. And I couldn't love her more. Oddly enough, I always, or pretty much always, think of her and refer to her as her, she, even back when she was a toddler, because she's my daughter. And although we didn't know it, she's always been my daughter. And I love her. So that's Kira. Jack is, well, I've already said he's very different. He came to us at nearly 4 years old, very, very small, and he was unbelievably charming and unbelievably cute. This tiny little 4-year-old with the body of a 2-year-old and glasses. He was, yeah, everybody fell for him. I can't even say when I first had the thought that it was extremely possible that Jack might be gay. But I did have conversations with him, not questioning him or prying in any way, but just letting him know that being gay was an acceptable thing, as far as I was concerned. But he never did tell me. I guess he was 15. He'd made a couple of new friends. They were quite a lot older than him, and they were women. And we were all in our house, and Jack left the room for something, and I asked them if they were partners. And one of them turned to me and smiled and said, "He doesn't think you know." So I was kind of like, "Oh, right, what are we talking about?" And then I just said, "Oh, you mean that he's gay?" And she said, "Yes," and she laughed. Pretty quickly, Jack came back downstairs, and his friend said, "She knows, you know." And that was it, really. And it was really lovely because having been opened out, if you like, to me, he embraced that with every ounce of his being. Gosh, was he loud and proud once we'd had that particular conversation. For a small person, he's incredibly powerful. He's my son, and I love him. But as a mother, it's hard to watch your child hurting. As a mother, it's hard to realise how much they hurt and for what reasons they hurt in the past, and that I didn't know how to take any responsibility for comforting or soothing that pain. I want them to know from me that they are who they are and I love them and would do anything I can to support and care for them. I want them to be fulfilled. I want them to be at peace with themselves and also with their world, if that's possible. And I want them to feel loved and respected. There we are.